So I just got through rebuilding the deck on my pool. The old one was about 15 years old, made out of treated lumber, splinters, rotten boards, nails backing out. You know the drill. Anyhow, this time I decided to go with something that's probably a little easier to maintain and hopefully have a little bit of longevity. Went with composite decking boards and vinyl railings. So here's my dilemma. I was shopping around for gates and I just could never find anything that was the dimension I wanted at the price I wanted. If I found something that was at the price I wanted, you know, they didn't offer the dimensions I wanted. Or if I did find something that was close and I could have, you know, made the dimensions what was required, you know, when I was building it, you know, a gate for this thing would have been like $350. I did see some as cheap as $195, and then they were all over the place on Amazon. A lot of them were meant to, you know, to be these little pit containment things you'd use in the backyard. So anyhow, I walked through Lowe's and took a look at what they had in there to work with, and the idea I came up with was using PVC trim boards. They're like 1x boards, so they're 3/4, you know, by 1.5 inches, 2.5, and what have you. So let's take a look at what I've done. So here's where I'm at so far. The boards I was talking about was this board at Lowe's, and I guess you can buy them anywhere else, but there's the brand. This was the 1x4, which I think is 3.5, and I even bought some 1.5 boards that I use for my pickets. So I'm not quite done with this yet, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Get rid of that and get rid of that and remove this one. So I made the framework for it and mounted the pickets using a little number 8 by 1 1/4 screws. That's long enough to go through both boards but not come through the backside. It seems to be pretty rigid now that I got everything bolted together. I used some adhesive that was made for PVC. I guess you could also use PVC glue like used for plumbing pipes. I was just scared that that was going to set up too quick before I could get everything positioned like I wanted. I laid everything out, squared it, drilled and countersunk my holes, and fitted everything except for the pickets. Then I got the frame, you know, the corners glued and screwed together, you know, making sure that it was square. These screws are going to be hidden by this. I'm going to do that at the top, or this is the bottom. I'm going to do that at the top and the bottom, and I'm going to glue it in place and see how that works. I think the glue will hold it just fine, as you know, the rest of it's already screwed together and glued. So I'm going to do that at the top and the bottom, and then I'm going to put a board up top and center it just to kind of finish it off. So this was probably less than $100 worth of materials. This stuff's fairly expensive, but if I'm getting a gate that's built like I want, out of something that's maintenance free and somewhat trouble free, you know, I'm sure it'll need washing at the beginning of the season, maybe once or twice throughout the season, who knows. You can even paint this if you want to. So if you need to match it up to a color, but something that, you know, hopefully won't rot and splinter and all like my previous setup did. The only thing I'm going to do that I haven't showed here is that I'm going to cut a board the exact length to go down in this area to bring it up to the same level as these boards. And I'm going to do that on the side that my hinges are going to be mounted to, so that that keeps my door, you know, my hinges and the door the hinge on the same plane as the pole that we're going to mount it to. And I'll show that later on. But anyhow, we'll see how this goes. I'm going to finish gluing it and mount my top piece on and mount it to the deck, and we'll see how it looks. Okay, so here's the finished product. I finished assembling it and got it hung. Got my latch mounted. I wanted to swing this way so I could block it to move furniture and stuff on and off the deck. I don't think I could have done that if I mounted it on the other post. 3 spring-loaded white hinges that were left over from something else I purchased and didn't use them. The boards, these PVC boards, they have a smooth side, and I don't know if you can see it, they have a imitation wood grain side. So everything that I could, I mounted with the wood grain toward the inside, with the exception of the pickets, of course, because, you know, I couldn't do that. So it is what it is. My top board, I ended up just using some stainless steel screws and countersinking them. I think I'm gonna add another one here and another one here just to satisfy my OCD. And I took my miter saw and just put just a slight angle on this so it doesn't rub. So this, it's a little bit different shade of white than the rest of the railing. I'm gonna see how it holds up. I might find some paint that's rated for PVC, like a glossy white, and paint it in the spring. I don't know, we'll see how it goes. I did end up, like I said earlier, I cut another board that fit in here so that, you know, my hinges were on the same plane. I don't know if it would have worked out right if I mounted the hinge on this board, because I couldn't go any higher up or down to, you know, to mount it here and here because of this hardware. So anyhow, this brought this, you know, in the same plane, so my hinges worked out. What else can I say? I'm pretty satisfied with it so far. Like I said earlier, I think I've got less than $100 in all the materials, you know, and just got pretty much an afternoon of my time. Some people could build it a little faster. And so far, like I say, I'm satisfied. So if you have any questions, you know, put them in the comments. I'll see if I can answer them. If you found it interesting or worthwhile, give a like, a share, thumbs up, and you know, as always, please subscribe. Got some other videos on my channel that may be of interest. So anyhow, thanks for your time and thanks for watching.